This is Mrs. Lee, and today we're going to be talking about factoring equations or expressions. And so basically we have the answer. We want to know what does it look like when it's factored. So it has these two factors that are multiplying. So what we're going to do is we're going to think of two numbers or two things that multiply to k squared, which would be k and k. So k times k is k squared. And you're going to do the same thing with the last one. What two numbers multiply to 63? There's a lot of different possibilities, so you may have to do a trial and error. And so I know that 9 times 7 is 63, sorry. 9 times 7 is 63. So once we get those two factors, I know there's a negative there, but I'm going to assign the negative at the end. So k times 9, this is what we call cross multiplying, a little different kind, is 9k. K times 7 is 7k. So when we add these up, this is going to be our middle term. We want it to be equal to negative 2k. And the only way that's possible is if the negative 9, the 9 is a negative. So that would give me a negative 2k. So negative 9k plus 7k is equal to negative 2k. So which means that this 9 has to be negative as well, because this negative 9k came from multiplying these two guys. So now let's just check. Negative 9 times 7 is negative 63, so that's good. And this negative 2k is equal to that middle. So that's good. So now now that we have our factors, we're gonna go straight across. So this is the part where a lot of people get mixed up. They want to do like the cross multiplying, but that's not what we're doing here. We're going straight across for the answer. So this is gonna be k minus 9, and this is gonna be k, since it's positive, it's gonna be plus 7. Okay, and that's our answer. We've now factored it. So this top expression is the same thing as this factored form. Right? They just look different. That's all we're doing. So if we were to multiply it all out, you would get this answer. Okay. Let me just do that for this first one so you can just see it. So k plus 7. So k times k is k squared. That's where this is from. K times 7 is going to be plus 7k. Right, 7k is right here. Negative 9 times k is negative 9k. That's this part right here. And then the last part, negative 9 times 7 is going to be negative 63, which was our last term right there. See how that all works out? And so we get k squared, 7k minus 9k is negative 2k minus 63. See how this is the same thing as our answer, right? So these two expressions are equivalent. They're the same. Okay, so we're going to move on to number 2. Oh, actually, I'll just go like this. Let me use a different color. We got 5k squared, so the only way we can get that is one of them is 5k and the other one is k. This order does not matter. This next order will matter, so we're going to have to try to figure out some stuff. So 8, what multiplies to 8 is 4 and 2, right? So I'm going to go 4 and 2. And so I go k times 4 is 4k. K times 5k times 2 is 10k. I know I can see that I cannot add or subtract this to get an 18, because 10 plus 4 is 14. That's as high as I can go, so I know I did this in the wrong order. Or if I'm going to try switching it, so I'm going to make it 2 up on top and 4 on the bottom, and see if that gives me any better answers. So that would mean k times 2 is 2k, 5k times 4 is going to be 20k. Can I get an 18 from this? Oh yes, definitely. I know one of them is going to be negative because it multiplies to be a negative number, so that's going to have to be a negative 20 to get to that negative 18. So that's going to be 2k minus 20k is going to be negative 18k. Good. Which means that my 4 is going to have to be negative, right? Because the negative 20k comes from the 4. 5 times 4. So this is good. The middle's check out. So now we're going to go straight across. We're going to have, again, 5k. This is a positive, so it's plus 2. And then k minus 4. Just like that. Again, I'll just show you by highlighting it. That's where we're getting that one. And k minus 4 is from the bottom. You don't have to highlight them, but I find them to be useful to remember I'm going straight across. All right, we're going to move on to number 3. So what multiplies to 5b squared? Well, I know it has to be 5b and b. And then my other two numbers is going to have to be 3 and 4, but I don't know which way. Actually, you got a skill protected. So if I do 3 up here, 4 on the bottom, I know that 5 times 4 is going to be 20, and 3 and b is going to be 3. So 20 and 3, I can definitely get a 23 from that. So that's going to save me some time. So 3b, 5b times 4 is 20b. And since it's positive, I'm going to leave it as positive, so that's 23b, which is exactly the same thing as our middle term, so we're good to go. We didn't have to do any other numbers. So we have, again, 5b plus 3 and b plus 4. Again, going straight across. Let me just highlight that for you so you can see where it's coming from. Again, please, you're not just sitting there and just copying it down, because that is doing nothing for your brain, like zero things. What you need to do is you need to actually try it yourself. So now that you've seen number 3, now stop, do number 3 by yourself. Or like if you already copied it down, then do it on a separate sheet of paper. Try to do it by yourself. See if you can remember the process. Okay, remember how to do things. Okay, that's the only way your brain is going to learn, is if you actually use your brain to learn it. All right, so again, m squared. The only way to get m squared is m times m. And then we're going to think of, well, what multiplies to 7? There's only one possibility because it's a prime number. It's 1 and 7. And so 1 times m is m. If you want to put 1m, you totally can do that. M times 7 is 7m. Now, I need it to be negative 8m, but it also has to multiply to be positive. The only way we can do that is if both of them are negative, right? So negative m minus 7m or plus negative 7m is going to be negative 8m. So I'm going to have to, which is good, so I'm going to have to make both of these negative. I always like to put the negatives in last because it helps me to think about it easier, instead of like, oh, which one has to be negative? Yeah, I just can't do that in the very beginning. All right, so we're good to go. So we're going to go m minus 1 times m minus 7. There's our answer. Again, going straight across. Honestly, if you did the crisscross here, it really wouldn't give you a different answer, because since they're both m's, but it's not good practice because that's not what we are meaning. Okay, so always go across. All right, number 5. Just like that. And here again we have v squared, so it's going to be v and v. And this is going to be 8 and 5? No. 8 and 5 are not going to give me something with 6. 20 and, no, not 20. 24, 10 and 4. 10 and 4. So do you see how I like work through in my brain, although you couldn't see it, the different numbers? Like I tried 8 and 5, but I knew that those numbers, if I'm multiplying with v, is not going to give me anything close to a 6. So I used 10 and 4 because I knew I could make a 6 out of 10 and 4. So v times 10 is 10v. v times 4 is 4v. And since it's negative 40, I know one of these has to be negative. I want to get a negative 6, so that means my 10 has to be negative. This is my think aloud, guys. Negative 10v plus 4v is going to be negative 6v, which is right there. I know that negative 10 times 4 is negative 40, so we're good. So it's going to be v minus 10 times v plus 4. That's going to be our answer. Trying to keep these very consistent. All right, next one. We have 5x squared. What multiplies 5x squared? 5x and x. I usually put the 5x on top. I don't know why. That's just how I think. You could put the x on the 5x on the bottom. It doesn't. This part does not matter the order. All right, here multiplies to 8. 2 and 4. Let's try 2 and 4. So I'm not going to put the 4 on the bottom because I know then that's going to be 20. That's going to be too big, right? So I'm going to just put the 2 on the bottom. Let's hope for the best. All right, so x times 4 is 4x. 5x times 2 is going to be 10x. Can I make a 6 out of these two numbers? Yes. I want a positive 6, so this 4 has to be negative, which means that 4 has to be a negative. which is good because that's supposed to be a negative 8, which works out. That's going to be 6x, good to go. So I'm going to go straight across 5x minus 4 times x plus 2. Okay, and then got the bottom part right here. There's our answer. Again, if you're like on a test and you have some time, I would actually multiply it out to see if it gives me the original problem, right? Because that helps. So you know that unless you made some really silly arithmetic error, you're not wrong. Okay, so we're good to go. 7. Only way to get a 7x squared is going to be a 7x and an x. The only thing that makes up a 3 is going to be 3 and 1. So I'm not going to put a 3 on the bottom so it can multiply with a 7 because I need a 10. That's going to give me way too big. So 3 and 1. So 1 times 3, or x times 3 is 3x. 7x times 1 is 7x. How could I get a 10x? By adding them. We know that if it's positive, it's either all going to be positive or all going to be negative. In this case, since we know it adds up to be positive, they both have to be positive. If you didn't understand what I just said, go back and repeat it, okay, and think about it. You gotta let that process in your brain. All right, we're good to go. So we're going to go 7x plus 3, and this is going to be x plus 1. Right now, your brain is making a whole bunch of theories and hypotheses. Got to see if it pans out, because you may be right, you may be wrong, but that's how you edit it. That's how we edit our thinking. We're usually not right the first time when we think about stuff. But the more we practice these problems, we're like, oh, okay, this is what they're saying. This is what it's supposed to be. Okay, m squared. Only way to get that is m times m. And negative 45 adds up to 4, so maybe 5 and 9? 9 and 5? Let's go 5 and 9. Okay, m times 5 is 5m. M times 9 is 9m. How do we get a negative 4m? By making this bottom one negative, because that's going to be, so plus, so 5m plus negative 9m is going to be negative 4m, which is exactly what we want. Again, going straight across, m plus 5, m minus 9. Do you need to highlight it? No, you don't need to highlight it. This is just to help people to remember we're going straight across, because if I don't keep on doing this, people are going to forget, and they'll end up doing, oh, m minus 9, m plus 5, and that is no good. Bad days. All right, number 9. N squared is going to be n, and n times n is n squared. That's going to be 7 times 4. If you don't know your multiplication tables, it will really help you if you know them. N times 7 is going to be 7n. N times 4 is 4n. And after a while, you'll see some shortcuts that you can do, so you don't always have to do this. But, you know, for right now, this is what we're going to do. 11n, right? We're going to add them up, and that is the same. So n plus 7 is equal to, is the same, and the bottom is n plus 4. Again, we found that by going across, straight across. Look at that, we're already on number 10. Again, if you haven't tried this by yourself, please do. K squared is going to be k times k. 14 is going to be 2 and 7. All right, so 2 times k is going to be 2k. 7 times k is going to be 7k. And we want it to be negative 9. The only way that can happen if they're both negative. And let's see if that will work, because we know that negative 2 times negative 7 is still positive 14. So we're good to go. So this is going to be negative 9k. So yes, check, done. All right, so we're going to go straight across, k minus 2 times k minus 7. Those are our factors. All right, I'll box it because that's what I like to do. All right, already on number 11. What times what is n squared? N times n. And we have negative 28. I'm thinking 7 and 4, because we want it to be a 3, 7 and 4. So n times 7 is 7n. n times 4 is 4n. And we want it to be a positive 3, so we know that's going to be negative 4n, so which means this is going to be a negative 4. 7 minus 4 is going to be 3n, which is the same. Happy days. N plus 7, n minus 4. All right, again, I'm going to highlight it to remind ourselves we're going straight across. We're not going crisscross for the answer. That's a bad day. All right, we're on our last one for this page. Yay. So we got x times x, and two numbers that multiply to 40 is 8 and 5. 8 times 5 is 8x. X times 5 is going to be 5x. When I add them, they give me a 13x. Oh, that's not going to be right, because I want 14x. That was so close. So then, let me change it to a different... it can't be 8 and 5. Another way to get 40 is 10 and 4. Ooh, 10 and 4. Should have thought about that one. So let's change this to 10 and change that to 4. Not this one. Which means 10 times x is going to, or x times 10 is 10x. X times 4 is 4x. Ooh, here we go. See how I made a mistake? That's fine. It's just trial and error, right? And this is how we figure it out. So you won't always get it right the first time, especially in the beginning. But you will learn like which numbers work better and how to look at the numbers in a way that, so you can skill predict it. So 14x and 14x done. So we get x plus 10 and x plus 4. All right, still going across, x plus 4. Done. It might help if you use pencil too, yeah? All right, so now we're going to go on the back side. We have 13. All right, we got 13 right here. Let's take a look. Two numbers that multiply to 8. There's a lot of numbers. I like to stick with like some smaller numbers, so 2 and 4. If 2 and 4 doesn't work, I'm going to try 1 and 8. There's going to be a lot of different combinations here. 72, what multiplies 72 is 9 and 8. I can't think. I know I have to get a big number, so I'm going to put the 9 on top and the 8 on the bottom. So let's see. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put in the K's. Normally, when you get into Algebra 2, you don't necessarily have to put in the K's. Like, I just deal with the numbers normally, and I just put in the K at the end. But here we go. 4K times 9K is 36K. 2K times is going to be 16K. That is not going to give me a 73. So let's try another one. Let's try this one. So, clear. So I'm going to be like 90, oops, what was my number? 72. 72 divided by 3, because I need a bigger number. So I know that 3 times 24 will give me 72. So let's try that. I'm going to use the 3 times 24. 3 on top, 24 on the bottom. 24 on top. That's going to be 40. Okay, 24 on top maybe. So do you see how I have to do a couple of times 24 on top and 3 on the bottom? Let's try that. So 4 times 24 is going to be... Oh, that's too big. Then what do we do? It is... Maybe it's not 4 and 2. Okay, you know what? Let's try a different one. Let's try 8 and 1, because do you see how, like, no matter what I try, it was not giving me a 73. It was either too big or too small. So now I'm going to just try 8 and 1, see if that works. So let's try our 9 and 8 again. Our 8, if it's 9 on the bottom, that'd be 72. That'd still be too big. So I'm going to put 8 on the bottom and 9 on the top. Let's see what that gets us. So 9K, it's kind of like a puzzle, guys. 8K times 8 is 64. Ooh, good. So 64 plus 9 is going to be 73. Woohoo, we got it. It took us a little bit of time. You see how that's a little bit of a struggle sometimes? We have to just try, and that's okay. Just try different ones. If it doesn't work the first time, try a different one. try different ways of doing this. So this is 8k plus 9 times k plus 8. We found it. Okay, we have 3 more of these problems. Let's try 3 and 3 for this first one. 5 and 10. Let's try it. 5 and 10. Because 5 times 10 is 50. 3n times 5 is 15n. And then 3n times 10 is 30n. Ooh, here we go. We want to subtract to negative 15, so which means my 30 has to be negative. So that's going to be negative 15n. Make sure you make your 10 a negative because that's how we got the negative 30. All right, and so we're good to go. We're going to go 3n plus 5 times 3n minus 10. Okay. Something satisfying about boxing the answer. All right, so we have 8n is going to be, shall we try 4 and 2 again? These are smaller numbers, so I'm going to just stick with 4 and 2 this time. N. And then 25, shall we go 5 and 5? Do 5 and 5. Oh, yeah, it might work. It just might work. 5 times 5 is 25. We know one of them is going to be negative because that's negative. We'll find out which one. 2n times 5 is going to be 10n. 4n times 5 is going to be 20n. Which one has to be negative? The 10, which means that top 5 is going to be negative. So that this is going to add up to 10n. Same. Now we're going to go straight across 4n minus 5 and 2n plus 5. All right, our very last one. 16. Okay, so B can be 1 and 6 and 3 and 2. I'm going to try 3 and 2. We don't want to get too big. I could be wrong, though. We'll see. And then 2, let's put that on the top. Oh, I forgot a B. Sorry. I keep on forgetting those. 2B times 2. It's going to be 4B. 3B times 1. 3B. We add them up. 7B. Woohoo! Sing. Okay, so this is going to be 3B plus 2. Again, going straight across, and this is going to be 2B plus 1. I should just box it while I'm here. So again, 3B plus 2 and 2B plus 1. Okay, and that is the end of factoring. And so we're going to go into simplifying each expression. Again, try these yourself before coming here. Okay, this is for if you're like, Miss Lee, I have no clue what to do. I don't even know where to start. Then you come here. Or if you're like, I'm just trying to check my answer and see if I did it the right way, then you come here. All right, so again, I'm looking for the highest. It says simplify each expression. I'm going to look for the highest exponent. So I see here that 5 is my highest exponent and no other ones have 5. This is it. So I'm just going to write that down. Just 3m to the 5th power. All right. And I'm going to look for my next highest exponent. And I'm like, oh, this is 8m to the 4th. And there's another 8. There's a minus m to the 4th. 8 minus 1, remember there's like that invisible 1 there, is plus 7m to the 4th. Remember, we're not changing the exponents, we're just adding and subtracting them. Let's see if I can get a different color. I thought I had other colors here. Okay, let's try this one. Let's see if this will work. So I have these m cubed. So we have this one right here. I'll do 3 lines here, 3 lines here. Some people like to do like circles. I'll show you on the next one. Like they like to group them that way. You can do that too. So negative 3m cubed minus 8m cubed is going to be minus 11m cubed. All right, and then let's try this gray color. And then all I have left is my 4 lines, plus 6m. That's it. So notice that the exponents are getting smaller. This is what we call standard form. This is our answer. That's it. If there's no equal sign, you're not solving for anything. You're just simplifying it. You're making it look simpler. Okay? Simple. Done. All right. So we're going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to show you with the shapes now. Biggest exponent is 4. So I'm going to just circle those. Include the plus in front, the minus in front. So 6k squared is, 6k to the 4th power minus k to the 4th power is 5k to the 4th power. Then I'm going to take the next one and I'm going to box them. This is k to the 3rd. There's another k to the 3rd right here. So 4k to the 3rd plus 2k to the 3rd is going to be plus 6k to the 3rd, or 6k cubed. And then what do we have next? This just regular k's here. I'm going to triangle them so all my triangles are together. So it's going to be minus 8k. That's it. So those are different ways. If you could have used different colors as well. That's up to you. 19. I usually go with underlines. That's just what I've always done since I was in high school. All right, I'm going to look at the biggest one. So minus 5b to the 5th power minus 5b to the 5th power is going to be minus 10b to the 5th power. And then my next one is going to be my 4b squared, 4b to the 3rd power plus 4b to the 3rd power. That actually just cancels because negative 4 plus 4, that cancels out. Okay, so I don't have to deal with those. And then I got these b's right here, so I'm going to put these right here. 6b squared plus 3b squared is going to be plus 9b squared. That's it. Okay, these are just simplifying. Again, my highest exponent. I always start with my highest exponent so I don't have to rewrite it in standard form, because when you get to the upper levels, they're going to ask you to write it in standard form. So let's just get used to it now. So highest exponent right here, negative 7a to the 4th power. Next one is going to be negative 7a cubed minus 2a cubed, which is going to be minus 9a cubed. Oops, cubed. All right, negative 7 minus 2, minus 9. And the next one is going to be my a's. Oh, my 3a and my, it says 3a minus 3a, that cancels out. And then we just have this minus 8. Okay. All right. So area model. Okay, find the product. Product means multiply. So we're going to multiply this. Remember I taught you guys how to do the area model. We're finding the area. When we're multiplying, we're finding the area. So here is 2x minus 4. On top is going to be this second factor, x plus 4. So what's it going to be? 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 4 is going to be 8x. Negative 4 times x is going to be negative 4x. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16. The reason why I like you doing it this way is because you don't forget any steps. Okay, you remember all parts of it. Okay, so, and then we're going to rewrite it. So we've got our highest exponent, 2x squared. Our next is these two guys right here. 8x minus 4x is plus 4x. And then we got our minus 16. So remember, we got, so this diagonal, these are like terms. So we got to make sure we combine them, just like how we did up here, right? We combined the like terms. Same thing here. That's it. All right, I'll show you the other way on the bottom. So I'll do another box method just for you. Do you have to do it this way? Do you want to just do the long distributed way? You totally can. But this way is kind of fun, personally. I don't mind doing these. 8x minus 5. So we got 3x times 8x is going to be 24x squared. Why is it squared? Because we have two x's that we're multiplying. 3x times negative 5 is negative 15x. Why is it just x and not x squared? Because we only have one x that we're multiplying, right? Because negative 5 does not have an x. All right, 4 times 8 is 8x is going to be 32x, and 4 times negative 5 is going to be negative 20. Oop, I was going to put in an x. It's not there. Just negative 20. That's it. So 24x squared. These are like terms, so 32 minus 15 is going to be plus 17x minus 20. There we go, minus 20. All right, now I'll show you the other way. This is the one that you see most often from math teachers. It's just called foiling. I don't like foiling. We'll just call it distributive. Other people will call it foil. That some teachers will call it foiling, and I'll tell you why a little later. All right, 7p times 8p. If you don't want to do a box method or the area model way, then we can do it this way. 7p times 8p is going to be 56p squared. Right, just like how we would do here. That's how we got this box right here. Then 7p times negative 5 is going to be negative 35p. Okay. Then we're going to do the bottom. So go on the bottom, I suppose. 7 times 8p is going to be plus 56p. 7p minus 5 is going to be negative 35. All right, and we're going to combine our like terms. Our like terms are right here. So it's going to be 56p squared. This is going to be plus 21p. It's going to be minus 35. There we go. Good to go. All right, and here we have, we'll do the same thing. So x times 4x is going to be 4x squared. X times 3 is going to be plus 3x. The second, we're just going to distribute the second part. So 3 times 4x is going to be 12x. 3 times 3 is going to be plus 9. Again, we're going to just add these like terms up. So we got 4x squared plus 15x plus 9. There we go. That's the end of it. Either way you choose, it's fine. It's fine to do either way. Just make sure, a lot of people, their mistake, I said I was going to explain FOIL. The reason why it's FOIL is because F means multiply the first two terms right here, x times 4x. O means outer, so you're going to do x times 3, which is the outer numbers. I is the inner, so you're going to do the inner numbers, and L is the last. You're going to do the last two numbers like this, the 3 and the 3. That's why it's called FOIL. It's just an acronym. All right, have a good one. Bye-bye.